When it comes to deck boxes, there is always this one question. What is the perfect deck box for my special needs? And this is a question that with the release of RIFTBOUND just right around the corner has been asked by a lot of RIFTBOUND enthusiasts. What is the best deck box for RIFTBOUND and for me? RIFTBOUND's decks are a little bit weird with normally 56 cards, and you have like 8 cards in your sideboard, and depending on which legend you play, like Darius, Garen or Victor, you maybe want to throw in like endlessly tokens. And so it doesn't fit into the typical Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon deck boxes, but is also too small for the typical Commander deck boxes for Magic. So I went on the journey to find the perfect deck box and contacted several deck box companies and are still waiting for some answers. But one company reached out very fast and very kindly to me and provided me with some of their deck boxes to review for you and give away to you. And this company was Magetech. They provided me 4 of their deck boxes, which they and I think could fit mostly to the RIFTBOUND formula, and gave me another one of each to give it away to you. So at some point in the video I will tell you what you have to do to potentially win one of those deck boxes to try Magetech yourself. But that's not the point of the video. We are here to test them by me. And even though I'm thankful to Magetech that they provided me with the product, I will still be very honest with you. I will tell you what is good and what is bad. What is really good and what I think is, let's not say any bad words. And Magetech actually wanted this from me. They sent me the email and said, please be totally honest with your review, but mention one thing. And this is that Magetech is only provided on Amazon. If you buy it anywhere else, it's a reseller or maybe an imitation. And so just keep an eye on Amazon. Because it's Amazon, it's maybe not always everything available for you in your area, in your country. Just keep an eye out. Magetech is taking care of it. But without further ado, we are here to check deck boxes. So let's check deck boxes. And here we have the Magetech Adventure Hero. It measures round about 8.4 centimeter wide, 10.9 centimeters in height and 9.5 centimeters in depth. It overall feels very good. The outside of the deck box feels much like the Xenoskin of Ultimate Guard. It has this like rubber leather like feeling to it and some kind of diamond shape as grip. What definitely surprises me is that for this price category and a company I never heard of, the stitches are very good and very precise, and there are like no glue spots where the materials are glued together. It's very well crafted. So let's talk about the lid and the magnets in it. And these magnets are very strong. They feel very strong. But here comes the first negative point. You can't completely detach the lid from the deck box. I know some of you might don't care about this, but it makes the whole thing feel more smooth and compact. And I don't like to have this massive flap all the time on my deck box. But you can simply fold it over to get some kind of deck box stand. The whole thing looks a little bit wiggly, but as soon as you did it 2 or 3 times and put some cards in it, the whole wiggle should disappear and it really gets strong and holds your deck box perfect. Let's get back to the magnets that feel so strong. On the front flap we have 4 magnets for 4 magnets, which hold the whole flap to the box. And in the back we have 2 magnets, 2. This is totally fine. The lid is attached to the deck box. We don't need more magnets on the back. It's just to make it a nice fit in the back of the deck box. Let's get to the stuff that is included with the deck box, and we start with a little card divider. It's nothing special. It's just a small black plastic card divider that you can get like everywhere. Nothing special. But the deck box comes also with a little hard case for your legend card. The whole case comes with a little passepartout so that you can take photos and make them 2 tokens. Little plaything, nothing special I think. The case opens a little bit weird. It is like natched together on all 4 sides, so it's a little bit weird to open it, especially the first time. But I guess if you do it like 2 or 3 times, you get used to it and it gets easier. Here just to demonstration, I just took a Pokemon card into an inner sleeve card and can put it into the basic sleeve, including the passepartout. You can see here it closes very tight, so it just don't fall just open if you drop it or something. But there is something that makes this hard case very interesting, and you might have seen it already. It has some magnets on its back, and you can use those to attach the case to your deck box. The whole thing sits very tight and very strong, but I mean it's just a card and some plastic. But if you check it, there is no magnet in the box whatsoever. There's just a magnetic material which the card case can attach to. You can attach it to the back of your deck box or to the both sides. The whole thing is pretty neat because if you put your deck box in a shelf, then you can display the legend in the deck box so that you always know, okay, this is my Ari deck, this is my Yi deck, this is my Kaiser deck. And if you put them next to each other, it's just like very pretty. And I think it's only for presentation, because if you put it in your backpack, then the card case can simply slide off. So I would recommend to keep the case still in your deck box when you are traveling with it. Or else it just might fall off your deck box and get lost in your backpack. What you notice immediately is that there is no case for dices or tokens or anything like that. And since the case for your cards is very limited, there is little space to put tokens here, so if you want to, you need to cut some cards. But Magetech has a product that fits perfectly here, and it's the Magetech Backpack. The Magetech Backpack is big enough to fit double sleeve cards, but cards are not our problem right now. We want to put tokens in this. And those will fit in perfectly here. It's a very big box. We also have some point tracker here, which is obviously not made for RIFTBOUND with 8 points, but you can still use it. It has those little magnet points to mark your points, and it's kinda neat. But why do I tell you this? It's because you can attach the backpack to your Adventurer deck box. I mean, of course, the deck box gets way bigger with this, since the backpack measures around 10.9 centimeters in length, 4.2 centimeters in height, and 8.9 centimeters in depth. The whole thing is a good idea to counter the point that you have no dice case. But the box is really huge in my opinion, and it doesn't really sit so strong on the box. Especially at the sides, there are no magnets to attach to the magnets in the backpack, and so it is really light to pop it off or drop it off. It's not a tight fit. I just tested this here. I put some random amount of cards into the box, all double sleeved. It's not even completely filled, but as soon as I put the box at the side of the deck box, it simply slides off without any problem. At the back it fits better because there are counter magnets for it, so maybe attach it only there. But still be careful, don't shake your deck box or the dice case will simply fall off. But we're not here for the backpack, we are here for the Adventurer Hero deck box. So let's go back. So let's get to the meat and potatoes and start with the card fit check. How many cards get we into this box? I prepared 2 decks for this test. Both decks are exactly the same, with 1 legend card, 3 battlefields, 40 main cards including your chosen champion, 12 runes, 8 sideboard cards and 16 tokens for decks like Victor, Garen or Darius. And so we reach exactly 80 cards. I did the whole thing 2 times, one time single sleeved with Dragon Shield and the other time double sleeved with Sealable Inner Sleeve, also from Dragon Shield. So let's start with the single sleeve deck, and as you can see, it fits with a lot of room. I personally don't like this. If it doesn't bother you, this deck box is fine. Of course, your hard case with your legend card needs to get in here too, and you have more than enough space for more cards or card dividers. But now let's check what happens if we use the same deck, but we double sleeve it with sealable inner sleeves. And as you can see, even this fits perfectly. We have just a little bit of room, enough for our hard case, some other card dividers, or even 1 or 2 more recruit cards. The fit is definitely not too tight. I don't have to squish anything. It fits really well. The deck box filled this way feels really good. 80 double sleeved cards with your card case and some dividers to separate your sideboard and your tokens and your runes from your main deck. It feels really good, really smooth and really natural. But let's not talk around, let's start with a shake test. How hard do we need to shake this to pop it open? You see, when I shake it normally, like if I just run with it in hand or it is in my backpack and I run, it's all good. Nothing happens, the deck box stays shut. It doesn't even feel wiggly. But if you really push the limits and put your body into it, then you can get to pop it open after some time. But let's be real, as long as you treat your deck box like you should treat your deck box, this shouldn't be a problem. Of course, we're gonna also do this with the single sleeved cards, we don't forget about those. And as you see, it's exactly the same. If you shake it moderate, it stays shut. If you shake too hard, it pops open. I think the whole problem is not that the magnets are too weak, it's just like if a magnet slides off, it loses its grip because there's no magnet to attach to. If you just put a little notch in there so that it can lock itself in place so that the magnets don't slide away, it should just be the perfect fit and would probably never pop open when you shake it or even drop it. The Magetech Adventurer Hero is a really good deck box on its own, and it will probably be a good deck box for every card game on the market as far as I know, and also for RIFTBOUND. But it just misses a little few notches. That you don't have a dice case is a point which makes me pretty sad. I mean, you can expand it with the backpack, but the backpack is very huge, increases the size of the entire deck box enormous, and it's not very strong. It feels a little bit weak. So see this with a grain of salt. The deck box on its own is great, and I can recommend it if it fits for you and you don't need any tokens with you. And so we come to the second deck box, and that is the Magetech Adventure Champion. And while I rotate this little guy, some of you might notice it looks strikingly similar to the deck box before. And then I have to say, you are completely right. It seems to be the same deck box. Everything is the same, the measurements, the materials, the way of crafting. Everything is the same, the stitches, the material, the whole feeling of the box. The Magetech logo, still the same. The lid is not detachable from the deck box and the magnets are literally the same as at the Adventurer Hero before. And there are no magnets where there were no before. It's probably really the same deck box. But Kenji, what is the difference between the hero and the champion then? The hero has no dice case, so we need the backpack to attach dice or tokens to the deck box. The champion has a dice case included. The dice case fits perfectly in the slot for the cards. It's obviously way smaller than the backpack, but as I said, the backpack was a little bit too big for my taste. The rest is the same card divider, the same hard case for your legend. The only difference is the dice case. The dice case that is really way smaller than the backpack. The dice case of the champion has no magnets, Of course, because you don't need to attach it to the outside of the box. You put it inside of the box. The deck box measures 9.5 centimeters in length, 2.7 in height and 7.4 centimeters in depth. But this brings one problem. You can't fit double sleeved or even sleeved cards into this dice case. Not even perfect fit. But if your card is completely unsleeved, they fit in here just perfect. And now you maybe ask why you should do this, and the reason is pretty simple. Since the dice case comes in the same slot as your cards, we need to cut cards so that we can fit it in. And if you remember, our double-sleeved cards in the hero deck box were already at some point of limit. But let's get in order and start with the single-sleeved deck. And those fit like snug tight. To be real, it's a little bit too tight for my taste. I really have to push the cards and I don't like that. But if you remember, we put like 16 recruit tokens in here. We have a lot of recruit tokens. So if we just cut like 5 or 6 of them and reduce their number to like 10 or 11, this should just fit perfectly together with the dice case and the hard case for the card. And as you see, it does. Just by cutting like 5 or 6 cards, it slides smoothly into the deck box. You can just pull it easily out and easily back in. And if we close the deck box, it feels just so satisfying. Nothing wiggles, nothing is too here, everything just fits perfectly. And at this point, I have to say, if you plan to single sleeve your Riftbound deck, this is probably the perfect deck box for you. The only way I see here to improve this deck box as it is to maybe optimize the way you display your legend so that it is not like slidey on the outside of the deck box. Because of course you can still put out the legend case and put it outside of the deck box, and so you can fit your 5 missing tokens in here. But I would still recommend to keep your legend case in the deck box when you're traveling, so you know, just to keep your legend really safe when you travel. We're gonna do a small shake test here also, but since it's literally the same deck box as before, we just do it once and we'll be fine. But now we come to the very negative part, because for someone like me who wants to double sleeve their Riftbound deck, this deck box is probably not usable. Just hold the double sleeve deck next to the deck box and you see we are in trouble. Maybe it's enough if we delete the tokens from the deck? Sadly not. Maybe if we also cut the sideboard? So now that we only have like our legend, our 3 battlefields, our 12 runes and our 40 main deck cards, like a really casual approach to the game. And here we have to say it's still very, very tight. You really have to squish your cards. And if you already double sleeve your basic cards, you probably also want to double sleeve your recruit tokens, or at least single sleeve them. And not put them unsleeved into a dice case. But let's say you don't want to play with sideboard, or you use tokens that are 3D and not card tokens. You could use this deck box. It's just very, very tight. Oh, Adventurer Champion, you are mostly what I looked for. You're beautiful, you're handy, you fit snug tight. But there's one problem. I want to double sleeve my cards. This deck box is probably the best deck box for you if you plan to single sleeve your cards. You will fit 80 cards in here perfect. Maybe a little bit less, so that you have to squish your cards. You have the capability of representing your card outside of the box, as long as you don't throw it in your backpack, because then it will slide off. But why would you represent your card in your backpack? It has nice measurement, it's very good fitting in your hand, it fits all your cards. This deck box is probably the best thing we have if you want to single sleeve your cards. Now we come to the next deck box, and this deck box is the Magetech Commander Lite. The probably biggest difference to the deck box before you already see here. You have a little window for your legend card to display at one of the sides of the deck box. The box measures 8.9 centimeters in length, 10.7 centimeters in height and 9.4 centimeters in depth. The box still feels very good in your hand. It's only a little bit bigger. As you can see in direct comparison, it's only just like 1 or 2 millimeters to the old sides. The depth is like 3 or 4 millimeters, but this is because you need to put the legend case somewhere. The card case for your legend card has its own slot in the deck box and slides in and slides out very smooth and easy. The card case is a little bit different. It's way more fitted to the card. It's way thinner and way snugger for the card itself. It opens way easier and closes way easier, but it still doesn't pop off if you just drop it to the table. This case also fits double-sleeved cards, and it comes with a little token you can design by yourself. Of course, you can't tag this card case to the outside of your box, but why would you do this if you have this neat little window there? For some reason, this deck box comes with 2 card dividers. I don't know if this maybe is a mistake or not. I have 2 inside of it. But let's try to put our single sleeve deck inside of this deck box. As you can see, we have a lot of space left. It's way too much empty room. I don't feel comfortable with leaving my cards with so much space in the deck box, so you really need to fit something else here so that they don't wiggle so much. But if we put in the double sleeve cards, it fits way nicer. We still have some room left for maybe more cards or card dividers, or maybe you want to fit in very slim hard case covers, so this would fit in here perfectly. Here I just want to mention that the card case that comes with the deck box doesn't fit in a slot for the basic cards, but that's okay, it's not meant to be there. But even if you don't include some card dividers or other cases, the cards fit in very good and they don't wiggle a lot. It feels really good. What I like especially is that your legend card is really protected. It's not at the outside of your box. There's really a frame around it. You can't just slide something on your deck box and scratch your case. No, you really have to punctuate the spot where the case is. It gives the feel of really protecting your legend card there, and it feels really safe. The magnets feel as strong as at the other deck boxes. I have nothing to say about the magnets, but this deck box has some feature I really like. And this is that you can detach the lid from the entire deck box. I think this is something all deck boxes should adapt at some point because it's just so convenient and it's so nice. It makes the deck box feel so much more compact and it takes less place on your table when you play it, and it's easier to open because you don't have this giant flap all the time. I really enjoy this. The fold stand mechanism is still there, don't worry. Let's check the magnets, especially on the back side. Since this lid is not attached to the deck box itself, it needs more power there. We see we have 6 magnets here, 4 that are seemingly the same as at the front side and 2 that are just at the fold state, so that this even fits good to the deck box. And this idea is proven as we check on the deck box and there are only 4 magnets on both sides. So at the back we really have 4 magnets to close the lid on the deck box and just 2 more to make a snug fit where the lid is folded. Let's change over to the shake test. This time from both sides because one is not permanently attached. And when we shake it in a moderate way, as always, it doesn't fall off. but as soon as we put our whole heart into it, the magnets alone are not capable of keeping the deck box shut. But here, again, as long as you treat your deck box like a normal deck box, this shouldn't be a big problem. And as happy as I seem with the Commander Light, there is one downside. We don't have a dice case. And even if I would really like the backpack, we couldn't even attach it because there are no magnetic spots for it. And so the Commander Light seems to be a completely diceless deck box. As long as we double sleeve, we couldn't even put dice and tokens into the card slot. If we single sleeve, we had some room for dices if we divide them by a card divider or something like this. Last time I heard the word light as an innovation was back at my schoolyard when the DS Lite hit the market. And I was very excited about it, as many other were. And this time it's no different. The Commander Light is an insane good deck box. It gives all that I need. I need space for around 80 double-sleeved cards. They fit in here. I can represent my legend outside of the box, even without sliding away. It's protected. It's great. I love it a lot. And it has the flap that I can simply just put up and put it at the bottom. I really love it, and I think this is something every deck box should start doing. I know Game Genic started with this, and I think it's time for the market to adapt to this. And this is a great way. The only downside to the Magetech Commander Light is it has no dice case. And I can't even, if I wanted, add the backpack. I don't want this because I still am not really pleased with the backpack. But this is everything that really misses on the Commander Light to potentially be the best deck box for your Riftbound journey. So if you're fine with keeping your dices and tokens somewhere else in a small case, this is probably the deck box for your Riftbound journey.
To all of you who watched the video until this point, thank you so much for your support, and let's talk about the promised giveaway. It's pretty simple. Just write a comment with #Magetech and tell me 2 of the 4 deck boxes I showed you today you would like to try yourself. I will pick one of you randomly and give you one of those 2 deck boxes. That's all, it's that simple. Let's get back to the video.
And so we reach the final product. And as all light products, the Commander Light also needs a basic product. This is the Magetech Commander. As you may notice already, this is a hell of a big box. The Commander measures 12 centimeters in length, 12.2 centimeters in height, and 10.1 centimeter in depth. It's pretty big. It again has this xenoskin-like texture on it. But here comes the first downside to the Commander. As we check around, I see that some of the stitches don't seem to be like that good as on the other deck boxes. At some spots it just looks a little bit weird and off, but at least there are still no glue spots whatsoever everywhere on the box where the material probably is glued together. And since we are already complaining, let's keep complaining, because there's one thing I really don't like. The Commander Light had this detachable deck lid for the box. The Commander does not. The lid is again completely attached to the deck box, and this feels especially weird when you keep in mind how big the box is. Like you have this giant flap when you want to open the deck box. The magnets on the front flap feel weird and weak, but this is only because there are 2 weaker magnets at the bottom of the box, so that you can open it easy there and then use physics to open the rest of the magnets easy. Like the other 5 magnets there are still the same, and they are really strong and they keep the box good shut. It's just because you have those smaller magnets at the bottom to easily open there. And then you can just lift the whole flap up. Maybe a good idea if you have a sum of 7 magnets on one side. The bag again has only 2 magnets, but since the lid is attached, this is totally fine. But now let's change topic to the really important part of the deck box you already saw, probably. The Magetech Commander has an integrated dice case. This little dice case has inner measurements of 32 millimeters in height and a length of 7.3 centimeters and a depth of 7.5 centimeters. So you have a lot of room for dices and tokens. You can fit 2 dices of 16 millimeters on top of each other. Like, there is room here. Additionally, this deck box comes with a better card divider. This card divider is not in every Commander deck box the same. It depends on which color and which format of Commander deck box you buy. Some of them have the normal plastic ones, some of them have this one even with other colors. This one has this here and it feels really good, it feels high quality, it's very stable and have the same skin texture to it as the deck box itself. I would really like those to be in every Magetech deck box, or maybe even be able to buy those separately because they feel really, really good. But wait, there's more. We still have our hard case for our legend card. This time we don't have any kind of snap case, we have a magnetic acrylic hard case for our legend card. Again, the case includes a little token. This time it's more like a real card, a little shaky image, which is really pretty and it seems really high quality. I like this a lot, even though I probably never gonna use it. The acrylic case also fits again double sleeved cards, but my Dragon Shields felt a little bit too big, like in height, so maybe just use the sleeve that comes with the case and you're completely good to go. The acrylic case I have here also has like a black border. This is again not at every Commander, it depends on the kind of Commander you buy, but you can actually buy those acrylic cases at Magetech with the black border. Normally they are just completely transparent, just like the magnetic acrylic cases you normally see. Now let's start a fit check, and here we see the single sleeve cards have way too much room, like way too much room. I would really not recommend to use single sleeved in this deck box because they have so much room. There's just the danger of bending your cards or something. You need to fill the empty space with something, or just don't use single sleeved cards. So let's get to the shake test, and with 80 single sleeved cards I'm not able to open the deck box, to shake it open. I tried it before and I did it somehow. I don't know why it doesn't work this time. Maybe I didn't eat well today, but even if I shake really hard and really put my heart into it, I can't shake it open. It stays really shut. So let's try it with double sleeve cards. The fit check, perfect. They fit easily in. You have even a little bit room, maybe just a little bit too much room, but I think this is fine. If you want to use card dividers, several card dividers, or maybe the thick card dividers of Magetech, or maybe include like hard cases for your battlefields or something, this could become like the perfect snug tight fit. So let's get over to the shake test, and as you can see, I really put my heart into it. I got angry, I started sweating, I wanted to pop that deck box open, and then I did it. With 80 double sleeve cards and really muscle power, you can pop it open. Here just to present a size comparison between the Adventure and the Commander deck box. Like, this thing is huge, and even if you hold it on the smallest side, it kind of feels uncomfortable, and I really don't have small hands, I have average hands. We are looking for a deck box that fits 80 plus or minus double sleeved cards, has a case for tokens, and I want to represent my legend when I put my deck box in my shelf. And there is a deck box that does this. And this is the Magetech Commander. But Kenji, you don't seem very pleased, and I have to say, I'm not. The Commander deck box from Magetech is exactly what I look for on paper. But there are some notches, some corners that don't sit right with me. The point that the deck box is this enormous in size is a little bit much. Of course, I want space for tokens, I want space for cards, I want to display my legend card. So the deck box needs to have some amount of size, but I feel like there's so much design choices that make the box bigger than it needs to be. And this throws me a little bit off, especially when you think about the fact that this deck box is already very, very huge. And then you have this massive flap on it that you can't completely put off. You have to completely unwrap it to, in best case, reduce it to this. And I think, like I said with the Magetech Commander Lite, if I could just completely put off the lid, it would be great. I actually really like that there are more magnets in it. It gives it so much more power in hold. But still, I would add a little notch, just to make sure. If you really look for a deck box that fits your 80 or even more double-sleeved cards, you want to display your legend outside of the box, and you really want a tray for your tokens and your dice, this is the deck box for you. But you have to keep in mind, this is also the heaviest price of the Magetech products we checked today. Keep that in mind. I can still recommend it to you if this is what you're looking for. Enough talking about this and that, and maybe you like this or you like that or you need those. What is my opinion? Magetech has great products, especially for their price. I think in their price category, there is nothing on the market that can even compare to Magetech. Sure, we have Game Genic or we have Ultimate Guard, but those mostly have a price of $10 or even more for close to the same product. And if you already paid lots of money for your cards and are a little bit short on money, this can be your lifesaver. And even if not, I can just recommend those deck boxes to you. They are not expensive. You can just buy one and test it yourself, or maybe win the one of the giveaway today to test it on yourself. I can only recommend the Magetech products. I am very happy with them and I will buy more of them for myself, definitely. But they all fell a little short at certain points. And Magetech, you promised me you would watch the video, and I hope you really do, and I hope you listen to what I'm saying now, because I have an idea how to improve your deck boxes, or one deck box, to make it the perfect RIFTBOUND deck box, at least right now and in my opinion. The Magetech Adventurer Champion and the Magetech Commander Lite are by far the two deck boxes I like the most. I look at them and I am happy. And if you fuse the two of them, this could be the perfect deck box for RIFTBOUND. And what do I mean by fusing them? It's mostly, since they're very similar either way, you take the Commander Lite. You take just the Commander Lite in its entirety and make it a little bit bigger. Like the case for your cards, make it just 3 millimeters wider or deeper, depends on your perspective, and make it like 3 centimeters longer. And why do it? So that you can fit a Magetech Adventurer Champion dice case inside this deck box and still fit all the cards in it. If you do this, this could be the perfect deck box for RIFTBOUND. I don't know, call it Commander Light Legend, or don't even call it Commander, call it Legend. Magetech Legend. And this would be the perfect deck box for Riftbound. It's small, it's handy, because you only put like 3 millimeters in depth. It's a little bit long. Okay, it's a little bit long. But if I compare it, like those are literally 2 to 3 centimeters. Like it would be this measure just in this length. And I think this is a very, very, very good trade-off for just exactly what we need in the Riftbound community. You have a little case with a little point counter even. You can put all your tokens and might +1, -1, damage, deflect, ganking, whatever tokens you want to use, can put them there. You can fit like 80 cards, which means 16 recruit tokens, which is insanely much, into here, including sideboard, and put your legend card on display. Do it like this, and this would be the perfect deck box for Riftbound. And if you then go the extra mile, and additional to the magnets, put in like a little dent in the little noopsie that it can click into each other, so that it's not only hold by the magnets, because if one magnet slides off, all the other slides off, and then there's no hold. That's the point. Like if one magnet is away, then all of them are away and there's no hold. So just add a little dent and a little noopsie that they can clip in, so that they can't wiggle away and lose their grip. And then this deck box would fit everything that we want. It would never just randomly pop off. I mean, it doesn't do it right now. Like you have to shake it really heavy that this happens. But safety. This is the probably best step. The closest we get to the perfect Riftbound deck box. And if we just enhance it a little bit, what I said, this could be the perfect deck box Rift. If you would enhance this deck box by those things I just said, I would only buy those. No competition. I would only buy those deck boxes. Just some minor design things I think could be cool, but you get what I mean. I'm just talking. I'm just rambling about. I like Magetech, but the question is, what do you think about Magetech? What do you think about the things I showed you today? Or do you even have your own experience with Magetech, and which of those deck boxes you would prefer in your own collection? Let me know in the comments and smash that subscribe button, and maybe I'll see you in the next video.